Welcome to another Zenler has got you covered. So this is the penultimate one for August. So it's all about emails. So we've been on a long journey. Okay, I've got Karen in today. Hi Karen, it's good to see you. Look, this is all about showing you about different features in the platform. I'm not going to be talking about some of the tech things like verifying your or authenticating your email domain. Okay, we have support documents on that, but Karen, I will give you the resources for it. And great, we got Sophia in as well. It's really good to see you, Sophia, on yesterday's special membership Q&A session. So hopefully that answered a lot of questions. I know there was lots of questions coming after we've actually covered a certain Zenler has got you covered, and there's lots of questions coming, and I try and go through them and answer them afterwards, and I will be checking back. But this is one of the final ones. So this is about emails now. Now we've covered pretty much every part of the platform. So in tomorrow's one, it's going to be really interesting for you guys, because I'm going to go breakneck speed on all of the different things inside of Zenler platform. It's like a speedy tour. So if you're not familiar with a lot of the things in the platform, and I know a lot of you aren't because you're just using some of the, just the course and some of the lesson types, and that's maybe all you're touching, and maybe you're touching some emails, especially you new course creators. This will be really good for you because we'll shoot through everything. And then we've always got resources in detail on each of these things. So Karen, check if you can't watch this one now, check back, because I will reply to you and I'll give you a support doc that you can see to show you how to authenticate your email. Okay, email domain, so it gets better deliverability. I've also done a video on certain things that you should do to get better deliverability. But we are talking about emails, and we're talking about all the different things that you can do with emails. So we're going to be talking today about email lists and how to add users. We're going to be talking today about how to use filtering to filter out and target your audience for emails. And all of these methods that I'm showing you are all cross-compatible with all the automations as well inside the platform. So it's a really nice one for you to look at and understand how emails work inside the Zenler system. Okay, so yep, Sophia's asked if I can share a link. I'm going to be showing a special thing at the end. So again, watch till the end because there's going to be bits going out. So, and we got Anna in as well. So people are showing up now. Our regulars are showing up. I don't think Pauline can make it today because I think she's got a commitment, but she'll watch up on the replay. But we've got Sophia and we've got Anna in. Brilliant. So this is about emails. Obviously memberships are quite, oh, we've got Pauline's in. Hi Pauline, you did turn up. So Pauline's been to every single one so far, I think. She's, and Francis as well. So we got Anna, we got long-termers, we got Sophia, we got Anna, Pauline and Francis. Fabulous. And really nice to see you, Karen, join us. Oh, we got Billy in as well. He's turned up. I've seen you in one of the other ones as well. So yeah, have a look at this. It's really good. I mean, we fly by. The whole point of Zenler's got you covered is they're short, really short videos, just picking out some parts of it are time-lapsed because I'm not going to do like an hour build with you. So it's just picking out all these little points. But what's great about it is you can look at it really quickly and you watch it. We're all very busy people. So you can watch it really quickly and go, that interests me. I want to find out more about it. And then you can look in the Complete Guide to Zenler or something and you can find more in-depth information. So I think this is a really good way to optimize your time and probably our time as well. So we got Jill in from Canada as well. Good to see you, Jill. I think it's the first time I've seen you in here. So it's really good to see you. So we're going to cover emails now. It's pre-recorded. You can watch this. I'll be back afterwards. I will answer questions in the chat. So while the video's running, if you've got any questions, write them down in the chat and I can try and hit them whilst the video's playing. This is quite a short one. Tomorrow's one's slightly longer because I do the whole platform. I mean, everything in 20 minutes. So you'll be like, whoa, and I talk fast anyway, but this is just ridiculous. Okay, if I say so myself. myself when I finished the end almost without taking a breath, and I was like, oh, whoa. So you'll see tomorrow, but we're going to get on with emails now. So emails made easy, and I think we've got you covered on emails for most purposes. Welcome to another Zenler's Got You Covered. So in this particular episode, what I want to look at is emails inside Zenler. So we're going to look at emails, we're going to have a look at some of the automations, we're going to show you how to set up an email, and then we're going to show you how to use that as a base for all the emails going forward. We're going to look at email lists, we're going to look at tagging, and we're going to look at filters and that side of things. So this is all about emails and how quick it is to build your emails, and more importantly, once you've got it built, to be able to reuse it to speed up your time. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into it now. You can see here, if you go into your admin dashboard, you're going to see that you have email broadcast at the top. Now, like everything Zenler, you're able to access every part of a particular area. So if you're going to courses, it's all in there. Going to email broadcast, it's all in there. So it makes actually handling and organizing your emails really easy, and Zenler in general is very easy to use because it's broken into these sections. So let's first have a look at email lists. So in email lists here, you can see that we have some lists set up. It's really easy to create a new list. You can just click on here and I can put new list inside here and click create. And this way it's going to create a new list here, and you can actually find people and export the contacts and even import contacts directly into an email list. Now, lots of people prefer to use email lists. My particular proven method, or my preferred method, is actually to use tags. I love to use tags because it makes actually looking after your students on a bigger level. So say for instance that they're in one course and they're in another course, then you in an email list might set them up as two separate email lists. But with tagging, I can select the people that are in one course or the people in the other course, and I can also select both. And I don't even need to use tags. I can use the advanced filtering inside of Zenler. Okay, so very easy to get people into your email list in here. We'll have a look at that in a second, but it shows you how easy it is to set this up inside here. We can also use advanced filters within this area as well. So if you go into all contacts here, you're going to see that you have all of your contacts listed in this place. If I want to add this particular user here to an email list, I can click in here and add to email list, and then I can choose the email list that I want to add them into. Now please be aware that you can also select multiple people in here, and you can also use advanced filtering. So if you want to choose all the people from a particular course, you could go in, select advanced filters, add a filter, and then you could select what you want. So in this particular case, I'm going to say enrolled in a course. Then I have a list of my courses that come up, and I can simply click one of these and click apply filter, and it will give me all of the users that are in that course. As you can see, I haven't got any in this course, but if I choose this one and apply a filter, then I haven't got any in there either. And if I choose any, let's just see if it applies. I haven't got anybody in any of my courses at the moment. But let's go and choose a different type. Let's just go and choose user tag. So inside here, we can choose a role or a user tag contains. So these are user tags that you've got in your system. So if you select one of your user tag types, anybody that's actually in that will come into the platform itself by clicking into here and click apply filter. Let's select a tag, apply the filter, and only users with this tag will appear in here. And as I mentioned before, you can do this on all of these down here. Let's just choose enrolled in course again. Now I switched to another site, and I'll try this. Apply the filter, and only the users that are in this particular course or live appear. I can then check this and click add to list, and then add them to the list that I wish. That's how lists work inside of Zenler. Really easy. Let's jump into email broadcast now. So under the email broadcast, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a new email, and I'm going to show you some of the filtering and the things in this, and then I'm also going to show you a really handy way to be able to use it as a clone for other emails that you might send out. So to create an email broadcast, we're going to go create email broadcast, and we're going to name it. In this case, I'm going to call it email template because I'm going to be saving this out. I'm going to click create. This is then going to throw up the options to select people in this list. For now, I'm just going to click all contacts. I'm now going to move on to next. Like so. Inside here, you can pick from a selection of templates. You can also build your own from scratch. Let's go and choose a simple template like this one here and simply click next. Inside here, you're now using Zenler's email designer to design this. I want to swap this logo out for my own logo. I'm going to select it and go to image on this side. I'm going to choose my new logo, which I have here, and I'm going to click open. And you'll see this is now replaced inside here. We can also go in and change things like the size, make it a bit bigger. You can also add an alt tag in here, which is a good idea. And you can even drop a link in. Let's close that down. You can now put your copy in here by just using selection and typing, and any text you want inside here. You can also change this image out for your own, and you can select in here, and you can put your social media links inside of all of these, or you can delete this section out if you do not want to use it. Let's go and drop an easy block in here. I'm going to select the top one, and I'm going to click the add here. Now I'm going to just choose image. Now it's dropped a placeholder image. I'm going to select that, select the image, and I'm going to go and choose an image that I already have. This is of my courses. Click outside and you'll find that your image has dropped in. When you finish personalizing this, you can then go on to the next step. I'm going to call this one email template for now. And I'm going to click next. Now at this side, you have the option to send, schedule it to be sent, or put it into draft mode. Because I want to use this as a template, I'm going to put it into draft mode. I'm simply going to select save as draft. Now if we go back to our email broadcast, you're going to see that you have this already set up. This can be a basis for any emails that you produce going forwards. You can just change the text, swap out the images, and you're set to go. If we can also preview it here. So you have some options here. You can edit this, so you can re-edit it. You can clone it, which we're going to do because it's going to be a template. We can also preview it, and we can also delete it. You're going to see when you send an email that the stats will appear down here by each send, giving you indication of bounces, unsubscribed, clicked, opened, or delivered. Inside here, I'm going to preview this mail just to show you what it looks like. Here's our mail that we created. And now what I'm going to do is use this for a basis as a template. I'm now going to click clone. Let's label this. Make sure that you label it so you understand exactly what the email is about. For this test, I'm just doing new send from template. And then I'm going to click clone. Nobody sees the title of this email. Click clone. This will then open up in the editor. We can now use our filtering to filter exactly who we want to send this email to. It's really easy. If you click inside here, you're going to have your email list appear. So you can just select an email list if you wish and get rid of all contacts. This will filter out only people in this email list. If you choose all contacts, it will select everybody in the site. But don't worry, because you can add extra filtering on top of this. So for instance, if I've selected all contacts, which I have 13 here, and I apply an extra filter by using advanced filtering, then I can filter it down to exactly who I want to reach. Let's click Add Filter Group, and let's click Add Filter, and inside here you'll have a lot of options to be able to select and filter down exactly who you want. You can even do it by the tag. User tag contains, let's select one of our user tags, NLE, E, and click Save. Watch what happens to this contact selected list when I click Save. It will go down to 1. There's only 1 in this particular list. This allows you to really filter down exactly who you want. You can even add additional filters on top by editing the filter and adding a new filter on top of this one. You can also use filtering to go and find exactly who you want in a course. So if we go to enrolled in a course, you can then select the course that you wish, such as True Webinar Course Approach, and click Save. And this again will filter based on this. As you can see, it's 1. When you've selected and you've actually finalized the people you want to send this email to, you will then click Next. If you get authenticate domain, email domain, you need to make sure that you have authenticated your domain. This is really important for deliverability, and we have support documents on this. I'm going to click Continue anyway, and it will take us into the email template. Inside here I can also personalize my email. If I click and put the cursor here, I can click Personalize, and I can choose to present their first name. So if their name is David, for instance, it will go David, and then it will go email template. I can put whatever I like for the subject. Make sure that your subject line is really clear to what the email is about, because when your users open it up, they will then see this, and they are more likely to open if it's clear message to them. Next we move on to the actual copy and the images, and you can add and change this however you like based on the template. Let's click Next, and finally we can either schedule, set a date and a time, select your time zone and hit Schedule Broadcast, and it will go out that time, or you can go Send Now and simply click Send Now. I'm going to send this now, and it will then start queuing this for delivery. If you then check back into your site or refresh here after a few minutes, you'll actually see some of the stats start to appear here. At the moment it's showing queued, but as soon as it's finished sending, this will then populate with this information. This is how you can use email templates really easily inside of Zenler. Now the same applies for automations in any of your courses. If you have a course and you want to put automations inside here, it's slightly different. You can't choose a template designer, but you can give it plain text. So inside of the automations, you fill your text in here. You can add any personalizations just like you can in the email template designer, and you can simply send based on the options that you include inside here. There is another place where emails go out from the Zenler system, and that is in site and in languages. You should go into system emails, and you should check through all of these system emails and make sure they contain the language that you want. Be very careful about deleting out any of the personalizations that are set up in these, because they've been set up for a reason. But I definitely advise you to choose your own language and put your logo in to all of the system emails. You can choose these by selecting inside here, and you can even click on it and drag this down to resize it. Please don't use oversized images as it bloats the email size. So I hope you've enjoyed this little email made easy with Zenler, where I've taken you through how you can use emails inside of Zenler, and it's really easy to filter it to actually target the users that you want in the system. So I'm sure you'll agree Zenler's got you covered when it comes to emails. So there you go, guys, that little bit on emails there, and we've got a comment coming from Francis saying filters and tags are great. Yeah, I mean, that's my chosen method. I don't really use email lists a lot, but I know a lot of you do. So that's why it was covered in there. So you can add an email list to it. In some ways, email lists are quite good because instead of choosing all contacts, you can just pull in from a list. And if you watch the Zenler's Got You Covered on split testing, it can be really handy. That's kind of the only case study I'll probably use lists personally, but I know a lot of you guys do. Now, a question came up, which we're not really going to get into, but you can find loads of links in there by Karen sent to her, which is about email domain authentication. Okay, so it's a big subject and there's a lot of scaremongering about this. I don't like it. You know, it's not hard, it's not complicated. You just need to make sure that you're following certain rules, and if you just follow our documentation and stuff, you'll be cleared. Okay, now there's a lot of people in the group that know about this. Kyla's one, she's in with us now, and also Via as well. Via's been helping a lot of people if they've been stuck in the group. So those are the two people I would say to. Kyla would probably say go to Via, okay? So because she's been reading up about all this stuff. So if you do get stuck, you could ask them. But of course, we don't say use our community. They're not Zenler officials. So we say send a support ticket to support@zenler.com, and the guys will help. If you need extra help, they might call me in to personally guide you through it. Okay, that's how sometimes it works. So just take it easy, follow our documentation. Whenever people make a mistake and it doesn't authenticate, it's generally down to a little thing they haven't followed closely with. So when you're using all of our support docs, really follow it closely, okay? And then you'll have no problems at all. So where is this in the platform to authenticate, and why should you authenticate? Well, you should authenticate your domain because you need to say, like if I'm using my own domain, so my email, my own domain, but it's coming through Zenler's servers, okay, it will hit the mail account and it will check where it's come from, and unless you've authenticated it inside your domain where you've purchased your website address from, unless you've authenticated it in there, when it cross-references, it will hit it and go, that's not part of it. And the reason this is happening is because of the lockdown on all of this phishing mails, all this spam that goes out, and companies such as Apple and Google and Yahoo are really clamping down on this stuff. And they're trying to say, okay, well, if you haven't authenticated it, if you haven't marked it in your domain, your registrar's domain, then we're going to consider that as spam, and we might penalize you for it and blacklist you from going into our service. It doesn't mean that it will hit everybody. You know, someone, if you're sending an email out to someone's private email address, that could go through fine. But if Google, for instance, blacklist you, it means that any mails going out to Google accounts will automatically be shut. Okay, but you don't need to be scared about it. You just need to follow our documentation, and then you'll be fine. Okay, so inside your admin panel, you're going to go across to, you're going to go to Site Integrations on the left, and you're going to go to Zenler Mail, and in here it says email domain authentication. You can click that and just follow the steps through, and it will tell you everything you need to do. Okay, so authentication is kind of needed. There is also another caveat with doing emails and things, and this is best practices. So if you look in the snail trail, you'll actually find that inside the post comments, you'll find inside there that I've given links to quite a lot of resources. So one is the authentication, one is the DMARC side of things, the new sender requirements for Gmail and Yahoo, and you also have a best practices for mails going out, like making sure your mails are not over bloated with huge images and these kind of things. And also, like, it's down to a point with emails, it's down to a point with the language that you use. It can be blocked. You find with Google a lot that if you use kind of like prices, or you say sale, or you use discount, or you put click here, then what will happen is it will hit Gmail And Gmail will automatically, it might let it through if it's authenticated, but it'll automatically put it in the promotions folder. And sometimes people don't look there and they don't find it. So the wording that you're using in email also matters as well. And I think going forwards, that'll be even more important. So just try and be genuine with it. Tell people about something in there rather than say click here, special offer, bonus, discount. These kind of words are flag words, trigger words for some of these systems filtering. All right. So as long as you do that, it's absolutely fine. There's no problem. Okay, so let's have a look at some questions that are coming in. Francis put filters are great and tags. Creating an email list is handy for funnels too. Yeah, absolutely. But also remember, Anna, that with funnels, you can automatically filter them. So you can use tags. You can filter on a funnel. You just go into the funnel. And in fact, it makes it even easier because you go into the funnel and you hit on leads and it'll open up with the filter applied to just give you those people in there. But of course, if you want to put them in a list, absolutely fine. I never use lists. You don't need to. Filters are just filters, and tags are absolutely, they just filter everything down. With an email list, it's just an email list. So that's how I look at it. It's just I can understand using an email list for split testing where you're splitting 50% into each list and then sending it out to separately to that list. But actually to use it for any kind of sending, I would never do that because I would always go to all my contacts and filter down from there using advanced filtering. Just how I do it. Some people don't work like that. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know. But tags and filtering is the way forwards. I missed last Sunday. I was playing hockey. Way caught up. Oh yeah, so you did miss one. Oh, I thought you were in all of them. Maybe it's Anna that was in all of them. If you have a form on a web page and drive it to an email list, would you suggest also adding a tag? Yeah, so this is a really good question actually. You don't need to, because like I said, if you've tagged them, it all depends on how organized your tagging is. So if your tagging is not organized and you don't know what the tag means in 2 months' time, then it could be a problem. So if you want to use the list for that, you could, but if you start just like tags, if you don't keep control of them, they can get seriously out of control. Okay, seriously out of control, and then you're like, well, I don't even know what that tag's for. So tag management and organization of the system is really important, and I think that goes for email lists as well. It's up to you, Jill. If you want to put them into an email list, you could. Might be a good idea. So for instance, you are tagging them individually based on maybe the funnel or the form that they're coming in on, and you could put all of those people that are coming in on a funnel or in a form, you could add them to the same email list. That would give you a big list of just leads that are coming in, and then you could filter on that. So that could work for you, but it's really up to you. The flexibility of the Zenler system is you can create lists, but you can also filter and tag. And remember, Zenler's got a lot of inbuilt filtering already built in. So if you want to just filter on the course or the role type, you can do that easily inside Zenler. And we have that in Zenler's Got You Covered. We did one on advanced filtering, so you might want to check that out because that will help you, Jill, for sure. Yeah, so reminders of the fun, Sophie. I don't know. See, oh right, Sophie's got a question. Sophie's got. Please, can you share a link? Oh right, where I share the link. It's all right. It's all coming up. I will share it after this, but I'm going to show you something that we're producing that's going to come out on Saturday at 5 o'clock after the last Zenler's Got You Covered. So Francis has said, I have 2 domains, training.domain and membership.domain. So 2 separate, all contacts and email lists to keep an eye on. Yeah, if it's on 2 different things, yeah, you would have to keep an eye on that. Remember that you can also export all your users. So you could export your users and do a dedupe to check. But you have to be quite careful on the domain. See, this is a grey area. See, how I see it is if they're in the same domain space and in your terms and privacy issues, if you said across my domain, that could apply to cross your subdomain, because you've got to be careful. Like some people ask, right, can I export my users from that site and bring it into another site? And the short answer is no, because of GDPR. Okay, but it's more complicated than that, because if you have your own domain like mojomojo.design, if I've got subdomain, they're still part of that domain. So I could theoretically take them from one site to the other, but you need to make sure that you are informing them. I just think clarity, you know, this whole thing around privacy and all these things, I think if you're transparent about what you're doing and you're not basically trying to rip anyone off, it's absolutely fine. So, but as long as you put it in the privacy or your terms and conditions or the policies, then I think it's okay, you know, because you can take them, because it is under the same umbrella, it's under the same domain. But then you've got to be careful, because some companies do split off into different areas, but they usually have a different domain. So then, you know, there's like these grey kind of areas. But personally, I just send an email saying, look, I've just set this new site up, do you want to come into it? And if I don't hear from you, then I'll put you in it, kind of thing. I've never had any problems. So that's what I do. Tags filtering start to get to help make decisions. Anna's helping out in the group. Thanks, Anna. So it's good. It's really good, because a lot of you guys have done lots of the workshops and things, so you know the answers already. So I missed create an email list. I think I've covered them all. Brilliant. All right, that's a quick one. Yeah, so also, did you see Billy's in there? I'm thinking he's saying great tip about emails. Yeah, about sending to support and all those things. But did you see, and this is really important, the fact that when you set an email up, if you put it into draft, you can clone it and reuse it. I think that is key, one of the key takeaways from here, because you might spend like a few hours doing a nice design up and we want to reuse that. So this is the point I'm trying to get to you. If you can reuse and clone things, it's going to save you a ton of time. So you can create that as a template, just call it template or something, keep cloning it, changing the content inside. This can take like minutes instead of hours each time you're designing something. And even if you can change the colors really quickly as well in the template builder, so it's really good. Now also remember that you can use the classic editor. Before we had that template designer, you have the classic editor, and you're able to use that when you create your email broadcasts, or you could the last time I did it. I'm just going to check now, and I'll share my screen whilst I do this. So if I create a new broadcast, let me just call this test 3. I don't know what test I'm up to. And you come into here, I select all the contacts, and then I'm going to go next. And now, right, okay, next. That's because that's not part of that domain. By the way, that comes up for me because we locked out any Zenler email addresses. It's a real pain for me, to be honest, and I've mentioned it to development. It won't affect you guys, but it affects me every time I have to put personal email, and that's not authenticated, so it throws up that warning message, just so you know. So down here you can pick all these great templates, or you can start from scratch here, but right down the bottom, tucked away, is the classic editor. So a lot of you still use the classic editor. If you click the classic editor, it will just open up and you won't have all these blocks and things that you move into. Like if I click next, it's now the classic, almost exactly the same as the automations way of working. So you have that option in there as well if you want to use that, just so that you know. I just didn't include it, and I should have, so you know that. So that's the classic editor. Yeah, so Sophie is saying yesterday we spoke about using email broadcast to communicate with people from a program than using automations from the curriculum. Could you explain why? Yeah, because automations are automations. Communication is communication. Yeah, that's the simple answer. Like your you're setting up your courses and your automations to automatically fire. So you're not using the automation area of a course or a funnel to send out a email to people. Don't get me wrong, you could, but it's better to keep it in that area of your communication area. So if we'd say in a communication area, there's, well, actually three main places. One is in discussions in a course, where there's a communication, there's a two-way conversation. Communities, again, a two-way conversation, and email broadcasts, where you send it out and you could have a two-way conversation. Actually, inside of the courses, the lives, the funnels, it's more automated. So if you sent someone into a funnel, you could do a 5-day email sequence. So it goes out day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and you set that up in the automations for the funnel. But you don't touch that. You can then go on holiday and then the automations are still run. It's not supposed to be automations, it's supposed to be automatic. So it's not you manually. Okay, you could go in there and create an email in a funnel because you've forgotten to put a step in there or something. And you could send an automation out when it pops up, apply to all or apply to none. You could do apply to all and it would send it out. That's what you could do. But remember that the automations are a very simplified email. They're done in that way to optimize deliverability. In the email broadcast, you have the option to pick those lovely templates and do it all stylized. So that's the big difference. Hopefully that's covered it, Sophia. Yeah, so Anna's saying cloning really is a time saver. Yeah, loads of time. So Sophia, does that answer your question? Do you understand? Yeah, it's like automatic emails versus you doing an email and reaching your audience. It's like, for instance, whenever you get an email from us, like if we're doing an event or something, it comes from the broadcasts. We wouldn't use a funnel. Never really. No. Okay, so I'm hoping that'll answer your question, Sophia. You haven't said yes yet, so I'm a bit worried that you're still confused by it. Did I explain that okay? Guys, did I explain that okay, or was that confusing? Yeah, so Anna's put in here, tag filtering and stats together help me. Yeah, so that's good. Okay. Oh, so you've got it, Sophia. Okay. Yeah, I know. Just use it to understand that you're just sending a mail out to people, and that's kind of the area that you do it. Yeah, and you can clone it because, like in automations, it's like it's not set up that way. You could, but you wouldn't, but if you forget something in an automation, you go, oh no, I forgot. Like some people, right? They'll do a live event coming up, and they'll set up the welcome email, and they think, oh, I'll come back and I'll fill in the details about the live event later, and they forget. I've done this. All the team members have done it probably. And then you go, oh no, it's last minute. Okay, so then you jump in there and you create the mail, put the proper links in, and then you click save and it says apply to all, and you go yes, and then it goes out to them. So sometimes you can do it, but I always use it in a last minute situation. So it's just that if I want to use the same live schedules in the next launching of the program, I was wondering which ones I should use. So live schedules, you've already got it all set up for in the automations area, so it should already be set up. So if, for instance, you're using like a reoccurring live, then you can use that email in all occurrences. So for instance, if I've got a live event going on the 10th of August, then I have my mail set up with a live link to it, and I've clicked all occurrences for that mail to go out. Then when it reaches when I've got the next one on the 20th of August, I don't need to touch it because it'll go out for that as well. So I don't need to set it up for all of them because it's automatically doing it. That is an automation you're talking about, Okay, so first of all, you were talking about communicating with people, which is email broadcast, and now you're talking about live schedules and events within a course. That's different. Okay, so you should make sure it's set up so that stuff does go out. If you think that it's going to be better for you to do it inside a course as an automation, then do it. But be careful, because in the automations areas you normally set a time or a event schedule or a trigger when it goes out. And if you just send it out to people and then you forget about it, new people that are coming into the program might get a plethora of emails. All right, so that's why if you're handling it manually, it's easier. But if you're saying about something that's going to go on and on and on, you should be using an automation that's going to update, that you shouldn't really have to touch. It just tells people this event is going out this day, this day. Maybe I'll do a live for you, Sophia, showing you how that will work with reoccurring events, because there's a lot of questions around this, like, does it go out to everybody that registers every time? That's a usual one. And I say no and yes. If you've turned off all occurrences, then yes. If you haven't checked that little box, then no. Okay, so maybe I should do a video and show you. Yeah, exactly, Sophia. I know you're new to it, so it's absolutely fine. I understand. It's not a problem. Let me do something for you. Let me do something. It won't be until I get back on the 13th or 14th of September, because I'm away. But I will do something for you that explains it all to help you. It's all right. Baby steps, Sophia. You'll understand it. It'll come to you once you start using these things. Yeah? All right. So what I'm going to tell you about now is I'm going to tell you about what's going to come out after we've done this stuff. Right, so Zenler's Got You Covered for August is finishing on Saturday, the last day of August. And what we're going to do is we're going to produce a blog post about everything that's gone on inside of the Zenler's Got You Covered month. So we got all of these things explaining, so you can read it or you can click through, and inside here is going to cover every single one of the Zenler's Got You Covered. Okay, so it goes on, it's huge. I'm going to put a jump link in at the top so you can jump down to each section, so that'll be nice and easy for you to get to. But also we have a link to the actual videos as well, which is here, which if I open it takes you into a funnel system. However, this is for new growth, so that blog that you saw is going to attract people coming in on new growth on the platform, and we expect them to fill this out. However, you guys are already on the platform, so I can give you the direct link which I gave you yesterday. So I don't mind doing it again. I'm going to just get it now. That's funny, I had it in a document and I put the document in the trash can not thinking I'll need it, so I need to go back in again. All right, no problem, 2 seconds. I'll drop that link in there. This will bypass the opt-in page. Okay, it means you can jump straight into the stuff. This video will be added today, and tomorrow's speed tour will be added tomorrow. So it isn't quite finished, but you guys at least can go and have a look at it. Anna's laughing. Yeah, don't we all do that? So there we go. So that's the link. You can jump straight in there. You don't need to sign up for it. You can jump straight in because you're all we're in a closed Facebook group, so we can do these things. And that's going to go in there. Blog's going to go out as well for new growth, so you might want to look at that and read it and go through it. There's the videos might well go in there as well, or some of them, but we want people to go through to the opt-in page. See, we do what we teach you, we actually do here at Zenler. So we do a lot of different marketing techniques to get people in, and if things are working, we pass that along to you. Okay, this is how it works. That way, if we try something brand, I'm always trying something new. So when I try something new, most of the time it flops. Okay, those ones that do really go up, Okay, they're the ones that I show you. I don't usually show you the ones that flop. Okay, so great, right? And tomorrow, just for you guys to know, again, we've got this speed thing going on. So if you go into our Facebook group, you go to events, you're going to see that down here we have this one, and this will be the last one of the series. And this is a speed around Zenler. Okay. And I want you guys to watch it, even if you watch it on replay, just because you'll be like, has he speeded it up? But, honestly, I didn't speed it up. I don't think I took a breath. So brilliant. Yeah, this is another example of how important it is to keep things organised. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it took me 3 seconds to find where that was. Also, what you'll find we do a lot here at Zenler is we actually use bit.ly links. So I've given you the long link in there, but often with stuff we're producing, especially if we put it out on socials, we bit.ly link, we shorten it. So you'll find that our bit.ly account is zenler.co. So that's at a bit.ly link, zenler.co, and then / we put whatever we want. If you look at our referral link that us use, the education team, it's zenler.co / free, and that's our bit.ly link to our referral program, okay, to get people in. So understand that as well. Prettyfying, if you're using something like Hootsuite, that automatically has things like hourly built into it. So Hootsuite is a way of sending socials to lots of different social sites. It can save you a lot of time. That's what we use to schedule all our social posts that we send out to 5 or 6 different social channels. Just so you know, these are different things. This is all time saving things. Yeah. In the ideal world, it would be good to have people posting and looking after each of the social sites, but we're so fast paced here at Zenler that we need every kind of optimization tool we can, because we're always so busy. Okay, but as a team expands, then there's more people taking on individual roles. Right, so Sophie's put, after yesterday I'm considering making my membership pages like your workshop on SEO tips, the marketing funnels workshops layout. I like that layout. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sophia, you know, remember Wow Wednesdays, because if you do something every Wednesday we have a Wow Wednesday post, and you can put your what you're doing in there. You can also post on the group to get feedback. We don't mind that. If you post your link on the group and you say, what do you guys think? Do you think I can make this better? Then you get really good advice from everybody. Okay. People that have been on these Zenler has got you covered. Make friends with these people, Sophia. Make friends with Francis, Pauline, Anna, you know, and the rest of the crew on here, Billy, you know, because everybody kind of helps each other. This is what we love about the group. Everybody helps each other. Sylvia's on here as well. She's a great one to ask. But you can put this, and if you put it in the post, if you want help, advice, or those things, we see this as well. And we usually, if we think you're struggling, we'll try and help you. Okay, so we might do a live with you. And yeah, Billy's always happy to help out as well. I mean, it's a lovely crowd here. Try and find people as well, Sophia, with what you're doing. Okay, so put down the subject that you're working on and say, is there anyone else doing stuff I'm doing? Can you have a look? Where am I going wrong? Because everybody has started where you are, so they might be able to pick things out straight away. What I would say is, when anybody's posting in the group asking, be as detailed as possible. It really helps us, because if you're detailing exactly what you're trying to do, there's no mixed messages. Okay, so it's like your question, like what should I use, email broadcast, or should I be using automations? I was confused because I didn't realize that you were doing it send out from a live event. And in that case, I would have said, well, you should be using automations because it's something that can be automated. That's why I pointed in the direction of email broadcasts, which are just communication like newsletters and announcements. Yeah, exactly, Anna. Well, you're one of them, you know, Anna. Don't say that's what I love about the Zenler community. You're one of them. I've seen you help lots of people and support us, as all of you actually. So try and oh yeah, it's in Portuguese, but we've got people from Portugal, and we've got a handy little thing called Translate, so we can translate stuff. Okay, so in the browser you can just translate what you're doing, and sometimes we look at the design. We might look how it flows. I don't need to look at what you're writing about. I can just tell you my impression of how I feel about that page, and if it makes sense to jump around. I don't need to know what language it is in. Funnily enough, but I don't. I mean, maybe for the key messages, but I can use Translate to get it translate that page. It's not a problem. Oh, you're playing hockey again. Oh yes. Oh good. Be careful. Yeah, just jump in. So guys, you want to... I'm an introvert. So am I. I'm an extrovert and an introvert. At different occasions. Depends what time of the day, you know. So guys, right, look, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Pauline, catch up on the replay if you're busy hockeying. Don't hurt anyone with the stick, will you? And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the speedy tour. I really want you to see this, because even if you just want to have a laugh, all right? See it tomorrow. It'll be the last day. We've got a big announcement coming up tomorrow about what's going to happen for September, because it's going to be good. I think you're really going to like it, and I think it's going to help a lot of you as well. I'm not going to say what it is, because I promised that I wouldn't to the person that's doing it. All right, so I can't tell you. Right, see you later, guys. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting us here today at Zenler's Got You Covered. And I'm sure you agree, this is my normal sign off. Zenler's got you covered when it comes to creating emails inside of the platform.